Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. In this video, I'm going to cover everything we went through in our class on Tuesday. So if you missed the class, this will be a great resource for you. But I would encourage you to watch this even if you were there. It will help you with vocabulary, it will help you with the pronunciation. So let's go. We covered adjectives, negation, and describing someone mainly. And as I mentioned to you before, in French, we have masculine and feminine nouns. And because we do have masculine and feminine nouns, we have to make sure that our adjectives match the noun. So evidently we have masculine and feminine forms to adjectives. We also have singular and plural forms. We are not looking at those just yet. These are all singular adjectives, but I haven't taught you yet how to make it plural. So these are just a couple of basic adjectives we looked at. Some of them are cognates, and what that means is that they spell similarly in English as in French, and they mean something similar. So let's take a look at them. The first one on our list is américain, américain. And the feminine version is the same, pronounced the same way, américain. As you can see, there is that final E on the feminine version. I underlined it and highlighted it for you. So, américain, américain. Anglais, anglaise. It means English. Anglais, anglaise. Because of that final E, we are going to pronounce that S, and it's going to be a Z sound. Anglais, anglaise. Français, française. That means French. Français, française. Canadien, canadienne. So in the masculine form, we don't really hear that N at the end. Canadien, canadienne. And as you notice, we didn't just add that E, we actually doubled up on the N in that case. So there's two N's in canadienne. Brun, brune, brun, brune. That means somebody has brown hair. Blond, blonde, blond, blonde. That means blonde. Intelligent, intelligente, intelligent, intelligente. So again, that final T is not pronounced in the masculine form. You only hear it in the feminine form. Intéressant, intéressante, intéressant, intéressante. Patient, patiente, patient, patiente. It means patient. Gentil, gentille, gentil, gentille. That final L is not pronounced in the masculine form, but you hear it as a Y sound in the feminine form, and you linger on that Y sound at the end. Gentil, gentille. And in this case, we doubled up on the L. It doesn't look like I highlighted that, but yeah, that L, there's only one L in masculine, and there's two L's in the feminine form, plus that finally. Méchant, méchante, méchant, méchante. That means mean. The next one is a tricky one. It means happy. Oops. It looks like I forgot the H. Heureux, heureuse. Heureux, heureuse. So that H is not pronounced at all. And the EU sounds like an Heureux, heureuse. Now, in this case, you can see that the masculine form ended in an X, actually EUX. In the feminine form, you're going to take out that X replace it with an S and add an E. So heureux, heureuse. The next one is similar, ennuyeux, ennuyeuse. Ennuyeux, ennuyeuse. Means boring. I don't think I had that on the board during our class. I added that adjective later. Ennuyeux, ennuyeuse. Timide, timide. Now, that's an interesting one. What you see here is that it's the same form for both masculine and feminine. Of course, if an adjective already ends in an E, then you're not gonna add an extra E for the feminine version. So in this case, both the feminine and masculine versions are the same. Timide, timide. And fatigué, fatigué. Over here, we do add that final E for the feminine form, but we don't pronounce it, so it sounds the same. Fatigué, fatigué. So let's see, we can form some basic sentences with these adjectives. So how would we say he is smart, he's intelligent? We would say il est intelligent. Make sure that you do the liaison, because eh ends in a silent T, and intelligent begins with a vowel. You're gonna lace them together and you're gonna pronounce that final T. So it's gonna sound like this. Il est intelligent. Il est intelligent. How do we say the boy is mean? Le garçon est méchant. Le garçon est méchant. How do we say she is kind? Elle est gentille. Elle est gentille. How would we say the girl is English? La fille est anglaise. La fille est anglaise. All right. Next slide. We looked at a structure that expresses possession. So we have that similar structure in English with the preposition of. So for example, when you say the brother of Claire, or the sister of Luke. In French, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna take the article le, la. It could also be un, une. Okay, so both the definite and indefinite article would work. Then you're gonna have the noun, obviously, followed by the, de, and it's pronounced de. And then a name. So for example, le frère de Nathalie, that means the brother of Natalie. La sœur de Luc, it means the sister of Luke. L'ami de Julien, it means the friend of Julian, and it's a boy, because ami, this version, is masculine. L'ami de Sylvie, it means the friend of Sylvie. And in this case, we're talking about a girl, because this is the feminine version of the noun. You can also say un ami de Jean-Pierre, a friend of Jean-Pierre, not the friend, but a friend of Jean-Pierre. Or you could say une amie de Marie, a friend of Marie. So this is, I think this structure is fairly simple and self-explanatory, since we have an English version that looks exactly like that. Next one, how to negate a sentence in French. It is so easy. In French, we do not need a helping verb like in English. So for example, in English, if you say she speaks English, in order to negate that, you have to insert a helping verb. So you say she doesn't speak English. By the way, this is something that learners of English struggle with, because some other languages don't have that. So for somebody coming from my country, when they look at she speaks English, they wouldn't necessarily know right away that you need to use does, or you need to use do when you say I speak English, I don't speak English. So it gets a little tricky, but in French you don't have to do that. The only thing you have to do is to insert two words, and that's ne and pas. And what you're going to do is you're going to frame the conjugated verb with ne pas. So when you look at a sentence, find the predicate. So we have a sentence here, je suis heureuse. Make sure you do the liaison, because heureuse starts with a vowel sound, and suis ends in a silent S that you normally don't pronounce. But in this case, you lace it together and it sounds like this, je suis heureuse. Je suis heureuse. What that means is I am happy. So where is the predicate? The predicate is suis. That's the conjugated form of être. So you're going to put ne in front of suis, and you're going to put pas after the suis. Je ne suis pas heureuse. Je ne suis pas heureuse. Il est méchant. He is mean. Again, let's find the predicate. Predicate is right there. Est. That's the conjugated verb. So we are going to put ne in front of it and pas behind it. And then we are going to do the contraction. It's called elision in French. So ne, est becomes ne, N apostrophe E-S-T. Il est méchant. Il n'est pas méchant. Next one, elle est amusante. Again, you pronounce the T. Elle est amusante. Elle n'est pas amusante. Elle n'est pas amusante. Pardon me, you do have to do the liaison on the S. Elle n'est pas amusante. It means she is not entertaining. She's not fun. Tu es fatigué. You are tired. Now, looking at this sentence, you can tell that the person who's saying this about themselves is a girl, because look at that. It's got that E at the end. So it's a girl speaking. Tu es fatigué. That it's being said about a girl. Tu n'es pas fatigué. So the way to negate it is you find the predicate, it's a. And then you're going to put ne and pas around it. And you're going to do the contraction. So ne, a becomes ne. You've got that apostrophe there when you take out the E. All right, a new sentence that's super, super important to know. How do you say I don't know in French? Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. So this is the conjugated form of savoir, which means to know. Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. And then we're going to listen to Alexa over here in this video. I'm not going to put that on. I don't want to take up your time further with that, but you can watch it on your own and you'll be surprised how French people pronounce it when they speak very fast. It doesn't even sound like je ne sais pas. But you can say it that way, je ne sais pas, or you can learn what she's saying and use that version. You're going to sound that much cooler in French. Okay, next slide. Oops, hold on. No, I didn't want to do that. Over here. Comment est la fille? Comment est le garçon? What that means is, what is the girl like? Or how is the girl? Or how is the boy? What is the boy like? Describing someone, describing a person. This is from your book, Comment est la fille? Or Comment est la femme? Comment est la fille? Comment est la femme? How is the girl? Or how is the lady? La femme means the woman. And the adjectives they give us here is brune, petite, amusante, grande. Grande means tall, petite means small. One more time, brune, petite, amusante, grande. So we have some sentences. Elle est brune. She has brown hair. Elle n'est pas blonde. This is a negation, right? Elle n'est pas blonde. She is not blonde. Elle est petite. She is small or short. Elle est amusante. She is fun. Elle est grande. She is tall. Elle n'est pas petite. She is not short. Okay, next slide. Comment est le garçon? Comment est l'homme? How is the boy? How is the man? L'homme. That means man. Comment est le garçon? Comment est l'homme? And they give us the same set of adjectives in the masculine form. So brun, petit, amusant, grand. You don't say the final D. Brun, petit, amusant, grand. So let's look at these sentences. Il est brun. He has brown hair. Il n'est pas blond. He is not blonde. Il est petit. He is short. And then about the man, il est amusant. He is fun. Il est grand. He is tall. Il n'est pas petit. He is not short. Next slide. Tu es d'où? That question means you are from where? So in this sentence, the, de, means from, because de is a preposition in French. So we looked at the possessive structure earlier. In that structure, the, de, meant of in English. Here it means from. And then this word right there, Alexa taught you that in one of her videos. It means where. Tu es d'où? You are from where? Or you can also say d'où viens-tu? Now this one we haven't learned that, so I'm gonna teach you how to conjugate venir. Venir means to come. D'où viens-tu? Where do you come from? The conjugation of venir goes like this. Je viens, tu viens, il, elle vient. Nous venons, vous venez, il, elle viennent. Learn that for extra credit, okay? It's a very, very useful verb. It's actually used as a helping verb when you're talking about something that just happened. So we will learn that at a later point in the book. But if you want to get a head start, go ahead and I'll give you extra credit for it. Je viens, tu viens, il, elle vient. So S-S-T at the end. Nous venons, vous venez, il, elle vient. One more time. Je viens, tu viens, il, elle vient. Nous venons, vous venez, il, elle viennent. Okay, next slide. So how would you say I come from Huntsville? You would say je viens de Huntsville. Or you could say je suis de Huntsville. I come from Huntsville, or I am from Huntsville. Je viens de Huntsville. Je suis de Huntsville. And then the final slide. So these are just some cognates. We already covered it on the second slide. Américain, blond, patient, intelligent, intéressant. But the book gives us some adverbs that can modify these adjectives. And these adverbs are assez, it means quite, or très. We already learned that before. It means very. When we answer the question, comment vas-tu? Très bien, merci. Very well, thank you, right? Très means very, very. And then vraiment, vraiment. That's a little bit harder. Vraiment means really. VRAI means actually true. So vraiment technically means truthfully, really. So they give us some sentences here. Il est amusant. He is fun. You can put assez before the adjective. So you can say il est assez amusant. He's quite fun or amusing. You can say il est très amusant. Make sure that you do the liaison on that S. Because amusant starts with a vowel, so you're going to pronounce that S and it's going to sound like a Z sound. Il est très amusant. Il est très amusant. He's very amusing. Or you can say il est vraiment amusant. Now on that one you don't do the liaison on the T. Il est vraiment amusant. Il est vraiment amusant. He is really amusing. He's really fun. Homework. Devoir. In French, we say devoir. And devoir is actually a verb. It also means have to do something. Have to. So homework as a noun is devoir. Le devoir. You can read that on your own. I'm going to email you the slide, or I'm going to post the slide on Google Classroom. But these are the activities I want you to do, and write them down in your notebook on a separate piece of paper. Write down the questions and write down the answer. I want you to practice, 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 because writing in French is tricky, just like in English. So, and of course, as always, write your note cards, put them in your Ziploc bag, label it week 4, and go through them every night. Go through those adjectives every night and learn them by heart. We need to build that vocabulary, guys. All right, so next Tuesday, I would like Macy and Abby to do their presentation, to do their slideshow on the countries that they picked out. And then Gigi and Penelope, you can get that done the following week. I only need like 6 or 7 slides, so don't make a big deal out of it. All right, I'll see you on Tuesday. I hope everybody's healthy. A bientôt. Bye-bye.